Well, hey, everybody. Guess what time it is? It is that time for our weekly self-care and mental health break. Hello, Jennifer. Welcome. Good afternoon. I know I keep wanting to say good morning, and it's already noon. It's afternoon already, 4 minutes after. Thank you all so much for joining us. We appreciate everyone that tunes in, whether it's live or pre-recorded. We really appreciate our opportunity for us to do this. So please like it, share it, tell your friends about it. And if they have missed it, and if they even don't have Facebook, we are streaming live and it's recorded up on YouTube. So you can follow us on Rose Dynasty Foundation YouTube. You can also follow us on Rose Dynasty Foundation on Facebook. And like I said, everything is pre-recorded. Everything is up there recorded. We keep it. We don't delete it. So you can go back and watch it. So yeah, let's go ahead and bring our friends on. Bring Miss Lindsey and Patti on today. Hi, ladies.
Hi.
What's going on?
Busy week, and I'm glad it's Self-Care Thursday.
Yes. Me too. I think we're all tired and we're ready for a little bit of discussion and self-care. I know it seems to be a lot of common phrase when how you doing? Tired.
Everybody
is tired. I think our emotions, our mind, and our bodies are definitely tired from everything going on. So we did thank you, Patti, for going back and counting. So this is week 12.
Yeah.
So we have been doing this for over 3 months now. And I love it. I love it that we're able to do this and we're able to give back in one way or another. And I hope that everyone watching has got something out of this. I know every week I learn something new. I learn new tools, new techniques, and also giving us that time just to release and have that self-care. And I've been doing my best to practice what I preach. I don't know about y'all. So
always.
Yeah.
Awesome. Shy Glow says, I support the content you provide. I do something very similar on my channel. Awesome, Shy. Thank you so much for that comment. I'll have to check your channel out on YouTube. Absolutely. Yeah. So we're going to chit chat a little bit and kind of go right on into what we're going to do today. I'm really excited about what we're going to learn and creating something today. I know, Patti, you have a great idea, and Lindsey, you have some great tools to throw in what we're going to do. Anything you want to, and if you want to talk about first before we kind of get rolling on our conversation today?
Miss Lindsey?
I just agree with you so much. I think the thing I'm hearing the most of the feeling words is tired, overwhelmed, annoyed, frustrated, scared, worried, concerned. So it's a lot of those heavy emotions this past week for a lot of people. One of my teenagers, he actually is like, I just feel like I'm on a roller coaster. 1 minute I'm excited, and then the next minute it sucks.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah, that's kind of a good way to describe it, because he was kind of saying, we had this idea that things were kind of clearing up and getting better, and now it seems like, we're having some more cases, and so people are starting to, stay home more, which is good, but for the kids and for the teens especially, they're like, we thought we were done with this. And so I think having the toolbox and having some tips and tricks and things like that is going to be really helpful.
I think roller coaster is the perfect example. This was in my work chat today.
Yeah.
Yep.
This is how we all feel right now.
The emotional roller coaster.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Oh, congratulations, Jennifer. She said her husband got to go back to work finally today. That's good.
Oh, good.
Fantastic. Awesome. And Patti, what about you?
I agree with both of you. I'm feeling it. I hear family members and friends are feeling it. Clients are feeling it. Where we kind of got this sense of security and safety, and now we don't, and now all those emotions are flooding out again, and that makes it really difficult, which is why I'm glad, and I've said this time and time again, I'm glad we have this platform to help and reach people, not just here in the U.S., but all over the world about, self-care. And even if you take I always tell people, at the bare minimum, 20 minutes a day, just to kind of catch your breath, turn off the news, turn off social media, and do something you enjoy. Catch that breath. If you can do an hour, which we try to give you at least once a week, take that time where you can forget about everything, have some fun, have some laughs, engage in a nice activity, learn something new that, even if you're not doing exactly what the suggestions we're giving, but you're putting your own twist on it. Good for you. That's what we want. Creativity. I I've said time and time again too that not everyone fits in the same little box with the same little pretty bow. Find what your jam is. And that's a lot about what we're going to talk about today, is finding your jam and what to put into your box, which we'll understand what the box is in a moment.
Absolutely. And we've been talking, for over 12 weeks now, giving tools. We've done coloring, we've done drawing, we've done word exercises, and I think all those have been important. We did scavenger hunt, which was a fun thing, so we've done these things and we've talked about it again. And I think basically, and what you're going to do, what we're talking about today, is we're going to create a toolbox.
Yes.
We're going to create a toolbox for coping mechanisms, coping skills, things that will help us. And I'm sorry to steal the thunder of this, Patti, but
okay.
I love what you said to me earlier. You're like, we all have a first aid kit. Like everyone, well, let me rephrase that. Most people do. I have 3 of them spread out in 3 different places in my house. I'm that one that if they cut themselves, where's the Band-Aid? Where's the ointment? And it's in 7 different places in the house. Right. So it's always important to have like a hurricane kit, a survival kit, like those things. Yeah. My dad taught me growing up. We always kept a bag in the car with an extra change of clothes, with soap, with deodorant, with toilet paper. We always were prepared. That's a go bag, right? The grab and go bag, right? And I think that's really important. I think it's a great idea, especially in times like this. And we've been talking about these coping skills and all these things for self-care over the last several weeks. It's so important. And now we can put those all in a toolbox, and it's just one central located place to pull it out from. So I think it's really important.
And like you're saying, we do this for so many other things. Like you just said, we have first aid kits. We have, as Floridians, we, go through and update our hurricane kits every year. And, in California, they have earthquake kits. Yep. In the, central states, they have tornado kits. We have these kits. And I tell a lot of times when it comes with anxiety, it's figuring out a plan. It's having a plan that you use and you don't even think about it. I use the example of like with kids at school, they practice fire drills on a regular basis. So that way, if God forbid a fire were to happen at the school, the kids, the teachers, the administration, like everybody knows exactly what to do, and they don't even have to think about it. So this is exactly, this is for everything else. It's good to have something. And for some people, we're really tactile and tangible. So having it actually be a something to go and grab, or, for crafty people, you can, I'm thinking like scrapbooking your box, collaging your box, personalizing it.
Yes.
It's that in itself is a coping skill. So
absolutely.
And I think it's good that we have it all in one spot, because if like I used the analogy, like Jason was saying, behind the scenes when we were talking, is, if you don't have kind of that first aid kit, you're running to this room for the Band-Aids, and this room for the antibiotic cream, and this room for the peroxide or the alcohol or the soap. And, you're running around and not everything's centralized. Mm-hmm. When moments when people are anxious, or, they're tired, or they're depressed, and they don't have the motivation to go from this room to that room to this room to that room and trying to find it, this is a way to help decrease that overwhelming feeling, because it's all in one spot. Mm-hmm. The other recommendation I always give, and we're going to go again in more detail about the boxes, but if you live in a 2-story house, keep one upstairs, keep one downstairs. Because if you're in a panic, in the middle of a panic attack, or again, you're really tired, or you have different abilities, if you can't get to it and it's upstairs because that's where you left the last time, that's that extra effort that you're not maybe going to go get the tools to use to help cope in those moments.
Right.
So, keeping them around in different spots around the house. And some of the other ones you can even use in your car. We're going to go over some of that, but kind of keeping them in all the areas that you're going to be in, even if you're in an office. You can use those kind of things. I know at my office and even around my house, I have different fidgety things. I've got water stuff, just so that way people don't even need to ask. It's like it's there if you want to kind of mess with it and play with it. Mm-hmm. So what we would do this time, and you did not have to pre-do this. This is kind of one of those instructionals for you to go back and watch at any point in time.
Absolutely.
Is grab any kind of container. So you're going to see me twisting around a lot because I got all of my stuff laid out on the guest bed behind me. Okay. So you can use a basket. You can use a reusable shopping bag.
I like that. That's got handles. That's a good idea.
You can use any kind of box, any size you want, big, small, large, up to you. You can use like the plastic shoe boxes if you need a little bit of a bigger one. I've got a bigger one for some of my items. You can use a shoe box from shoes that you purchase, a cereal box, whatever you want. If you're using those or even the plastic ones, any of them, you can decorate them yourself. And I encourage that. Paint it, cut out pictures, cut out pieces of fabric, whatever, make it your own. But the point is that we have it all in one spot, in one location. So for our coping skill box, and again, this is going to be about you making it yours. So what I have in mine may not be added in yours, and that's fine. Because again, we want stuff that you feel good about, that makes you happy. Just going to give some examples. So we definitely want to include some of those activities we've done, right, guys?
Yes.
So we're going to put those in there. Another great thing that through all of this, I hope everybody has learned is some of one of our best coping skills to use is paper. Just paper. Put paper on in there. We're going to throw that in there because we know we can build airplanes. We can draw. We can write. We can do another rainbow, another tree, another heart. We can do all of these things. So paper and markers, go-tos. Okay. Another thing. Who doesn't like a healthy little snack? Sometimes that's what we need because maybe we're really feeling upset and kind of out of it, but we might be hangry. Hangry is a true feeling. It's not on the feeling list, but I think it needs to be. So we throw a treat in there. It's Florida. Sometimes you might be a little bit hot, right? From going from the car to the house. We want that fan. We want that fan. Again, these may not be in yours, but I love my fan.
Yeah, it's a good idea, but I don't have one up here.
We need to get you one of these then, Lindsey.
Yes, I want
Yes, I need one of those back.
telling Jason, this is from Pride 2013.
I mean, I'm looking around and I'm going, well, you know, I have these like file folders that can kind of work for.
See? But you can do. Or remember, we could always take that piece of paper and make those old fans like we did back in the day.
Oh, that's
Not done those in a while.
Right? So again, that piece of paper is pretty magical.
okay.
In my kit, I have a book. I like reading. Not everyone likes reading.
That would be my phone.
But I have a big one. Again, phones, we talked about them being like the Leatherman tool, right?
Yes.
So I've got a big book, but if I don't want a big book, I have a smaller book to read. Much smaller.
Yeah, I just read that.
Good book, right?
Yeah, I just read that on Sunday, I think.
For those of you, again, and everything that goes in your toolbox, we want to hit all those senses. You've heard me and Lindsey talk about senses.
Yes.
So we want things that we can mentally do, physically do, tactile, smell. So one of the tactile things I enjoy doing, again, this does not need to go in your box unless you like it, is I put seeds. So I know I can go outside and I can plant in my garden. So I've got those in there. I know a lot. Yes.
So, like, you know, my husband loves to clean when he's stressed.
Yes.
Yes.
So it may sound silly, but a pair of gloves and some cleaning utensils.
Yeah.
Yep. I actually have a cleaner box over there. I thought it'd be kind of weird if I told people I like to clean, but
No.
I literally have a bottle. I'll go grab it. I'll show you.
Yeah.
We joke with him all the time, and he knows I would say this publicly. Is he would vacuum the air if he could, like he just he loves to self clean, and so that's what helps calm him down. So
I literally have my cleaning bottle.
there you go, exactly.
I know we have a lot of people that have children or teens or even some of our adults on the spectrum.
Mm-hmm.
So I found these years ago. These not only are soft and cuddly, and you can carry them anywhere. They do have a keychain. I know it's going to look weird because I'm smelling its butt, but it smells. This one smells like lavender.
Sweet.
So another good thing to have in the toolbox. Let me put this down here because my toolbox is already getting full.
Yay! And while we're doing this, those of y'all watching, if you want to type in some things that maybe you put in your toolbox, it may help someone else.
Because again, my toolbox is not going to be your toolbox.
Right.
Kinetic sand. Really good tactile. And they do have these like little mini kits that you can carry around. So those are nice.
I love kinetic sand.
It can be very calming. And again, we got that tactileness, right? But I know some people don't like the sandiness of it. So I have Floam, which feels kind of like Play-Doh clay, and kinetic sand in a way, but it doesn't have the sandiness. So again, we want to focus on the different tactiles, right?
Yeah.
So I have that in my box. This is a fidget, but I like this fidget because it also reminds me that I can play video games.
My fidget broke.
So it's kind of a double thing where I can fidget with it, or I can say, you know what, I can go play my games. So I threw that in my box. Here's another magic tool to me, like a piece of paper. The good old balloon.
Do you guys want to hear a funny story about a balloon?
Yeah, tell us.
Okay, so Martini's birthday was on Monday. She turned 14.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm a little bit extra and ordered her balloons and did a little photo shoot, right? She had a tutu. It was great. So Milo, her balloons, her theme was, of course, rose gold, duh. And so one of her balloons are like those clear balloons with the confetti inside. First time I've ever had them. They're really a lot of fun. Milo decided he was going to befriend one of them. And would literally just carry it around in his mouth like it became his best friend. And in the middle of session on Tuesday, he was sitting in my lap talking to the client, and the balloon kind of like floated onto the side of my desk. And my succulent popped it.
Oh no!
So not only has Milo been depressed since the loss of his friend, I still am, you're talking about cleaning. I'm still finding confetti.
Everywhere.
Every freaking where.
Yep.
Poor Milo lost their balloon friend.
No.
Yeah. But see, it's good for pets too.
Yeah. But I mean, those confetti balloons, talk about sensory, man.
Yeah.
Great joy from the sensory of that balloon. So that might be something to even think about too, is putting stuff inside your balloon.
Yep.
And having like beads, or the Orbeez probably would be a really cool thing,
Well, and that's what I said. You could blow it up and put, like Lindsey said, all kinds of stuff in it.
Confetti.
If you blow it up, I don't know how many of you are my age or even the younger age, where you can play the game, right? Don't let the balloon hit the floor.
Yeah.
Another great idea is if you've got foam, if you've got Play-Doh, if you've got kinetic sand, you can always stretch this out. Sometimes you'll need a friend, but if you put it in here and you tie it up, now you have a stress ball.
You can put flour, do flour too.
Flour, yep. And I always tell people, do 2 rounds, double the balloon up, so that way if one pops, we don't have the other. But balloons can be a multi-tool.
Yeah.
Again, we've got a game, we've got sensory, we've got a stress ball for that tactileness. So this is a great multi-tool, and these are very, very cheap. I'm all about not having to spend a lot of money. You can go to the dollar store and get 150 for like $1, right? So multi-tool.
Interesting. And everybody likes to bounce a balloon. When a balloon comes to you, everybody hits it. It's just
when it's something you can do with others, and it's something you can do by yourself, right? So
something I learned too with
like our piece of paper, we can do stuff with others. Like we can have a paper airplane, competition, or we can sit in color, or we could play tic-tac-toe. So that piece of paper and the balloon are like multi-tools within our toolbox.
And if you don't like blowing up balloons, because that's something I've discovered. Maybe it's just like with COVID, like the idea of putting the balloon in my mouth was not sitting well with me. I actually got from Target, it's literally like a balloon pump, and it was like $2.
Yep.
And you just put the balloon over it, and you just hand pump these balloons. So then that way you don't even have to do like helium or anything like that, because helium can be expensive. But you can probably do that with like a bike pump, or, some sort of like, I think like an air mattress, but that might be a little bit too intense. So.
Well, if you get the battery operated ones, it actually has a smaller tip because you can blow up, like, some of the pulls and stuff.
Yeah.
And you can blow them up that way too if you're not comfortable, or you don't get the lung pressure for different abilities. There are ways to do it. And that's why I said we could also like stretch it and make stretch balls. I mean, there's all kinds of stuff that we can do it. Yes, Jennifer, balloons give you anxiety. Don't put that in yours. That's why we, put what you like in yours. Let's see, headphones, stuff to snuggle with, games, iPad. Yep. iPads and phones are, again, multi-tools for us because they've got games, they've got reading material, all of that kind of stuff. Again, for those who like sensory stuff, and I actually have mine going right now, is
Essential
very
oil.
cheap little box, but they're essential oils.
Yeah.
Right? So I can put them in my little diffuser. I can make a little spray bottle to spray on my pillows. So again, we're hitting the smell sensors.
I put essential oils in all of my masks.
Yes.
Oh, that's a great idea.
Yep.
Absolutely. I have specific ones from a company that I use, and they have ones for breathing. They have ones for On Guard. It's called On Guard. It's for health.
Yeah.
I put them in my mask usually a couple hours before. I made the mistake the other day. To breathe has a lot of peppermint in it. So I put one and I cried for like 30 minutes because it was really strong, but it actually helps me breathe better too.
Oh, yeah.
Again, another sensory thing. Hi, Daniel. You're up early in California. Well, you're always up early. Welcome from the other side of the U.S.
Yeah.
And then I think I've showed you guys my stress ball collection before, but any kind of stress ball you can find or that you can create on your own are great to have, because either it's a great distraction fidget item. Again, they could be used as a game too, where if you have kids at home, we can go outside and we can play ball. You don't have to have a big soccer ball. Most stress balls are shaped this. I have some that are shaped like a brain, some that are shaped like a dolphin, but many of them are round. So again, we have a little bit of multi-use for it, but again, it's in one spot. So if I don't want to use it as a stress ball and I say, hey, I need to play a game because I need to get some of that energy out of me, I can do that too. Mm-hmm. So we're going to put that in.
Oh, you have a little, is that a minion stress ball?
Yep.
The other way. There you
go.
Here we go.
You guys would think I figured out which way to go on this camera thing.
It's going to take more than 12 to figure that out.
We need like a lifetime.
So Daniel said balloons definitely give him anxiety. Yep. He didn't know others felt that way. Yeah, there's a lot of people that is. It could be. I can't do balloons because I'm allergic to latex, unless it's a non-latex balloon, which isn't very often. So there are those type of things. So you can't. Jennifer says love smelling lavender and apple candles. Yep. Absolutely, because we've talked about sensory before and how smells trigger memories and feelings. Lavender is that one that's supposed to calm and soothe. Apple candles. Apples are something sweet. I love cinnamon. Like I'm a cinnamon smell. Like it relaxes me for weird reasons. So is that cinnamon hand sanitizer?
No, it's actually the Japanese cherry blossom.
Oh.
So I have literally these things that I'm pulling out are literally just in my desk drawer. And I have like two little like desk organizers, like drawer organizers. And so my toolkit is essentially where I'm working here.
That's cool.
I make sure to have, because I sense smell is a huge sensory calm down for me. So I try to have more than one because I don't know for sure which one I'm going to want as my go-to. So like this one is more of just like a clean scent. And this is also just a really good hand cream. And then I've got more of like a floral. And then this one is like coconut beachy. And so again, like you're saying, it triggers not only for the sensory, but then that sensory memory. So
then things go with chapsticks and lotions. Same thing like Lindsey's talking about. Yep.
I'm not a chapstick person. Lotions I do. But Casey said Casey has a locket that has a small felt pad on it for oil. I love
those are cool.
Yeah, they've got the lockets, they've got keychains, they got
bracelets.
Yep.
I love that. And because you'll smell it and it's in your skin.
That's a big one that I recommend for people going to the theme parks.
Yes. They have ones that have the lava stone that absorb the oils so you can smell it.
Yep.
So all of those kind of things are very, very helpful. And as you see, like as we're talking about this, it's bringing up other ideas that you can add to your toolbox.
Absolutely. Cinnamon Altoids.
Yeah.
Just a little fun fact. I have 42 of those containers in my cabinet.
I just bought them in bulk off of Amazon also, so I'm not sure.
I landed them for 10 cents a pack at a discount store one time. Nice. So I walked out with 2 grocery bags full. And then, of course, my dentist said I couldn't have very many of them anymore, so I had to cut back. My teeth. But I'm like, at work, everyone's like, do you have gum? I'm like, go to my station. There's cinnamon Altoids. Like, that's a 3-year supply for y'all.
But Altoids and gum, great, because, again, tactile, right?
What is that?
Vitamins.
Yep. Good for you.
Vitamins.
I have my stuff every morning I take. I know for me, like, the company I work for, we Aveda, this is not plugged or paid by Aveda, but Aveda is all about aromas. We're all about natural scents. So when you walk into our salon compared to most salons, you automatically get this waft of just blend. It's beautiful smelling. It's just natural. And our signature smell is called Shampure, and we have a body spray for it. And I will forever love it. Like, it just, again, it relaxes you, it soothes you. It's all about that. And a lot of our natural smells are that way. So, yeah, everybody's obsessed with Bath and Body Works. I know.
Yes. Books, yep, because that was gonna be the next thing. Like, we've talked about it: crayons, markers, colored pencils, anything you got, put those on in there, because coloring is a great tool to cause that distraction. And again, we're using that muscle memory and brain, doing that brain exercise by having to calculate, I'm going to color this way and that way, and we're planning and plotting, and almost like a checker chess game, even though it's coloring. So brain exercises are really, really good. I don't have any here. I know there's somewhere. I've had to move all my stuff here, but doing like crossword, if you got a crossword puzzle, Sudoku, hidden objects, find the differences and the two pictures, like, put those in there. If you have puzzle games, put them on in there. Those are great too.
I downloaded a bunch of them on my phone and deleted them because I got frustrated.
Yep, and that's what, if anytime they frustrate you, that's not a coping skill then.
Like, not for me.
And like we've mentioned before, if you're doing it because you're bored, it's not a coping skill either.
That's a distraction.
A boredom buster, as I call it, and a coping skill. A coping skill is something when we have those negative emotions that are really, really weighing us down. Mm-hmm. We want something that's going to perk us up, distract us, change our mode of thinking, flip that script. We don't want to do it just because we're bored.
That's good. The solitaire and word game apps. Yeah, a lot of people love those.
Yes.
Puzzles.
Crazy that I had all of this right here.
Yeah, you had all those books. Some of those books look really good.
This one is, I don't actually like, and that's, I think, another thing to point out too, is knowing your limitations and your, things that just because, again, I think we've talked about this before a while ago, but like, just because it's trendy doesn't mean that you have to like jump on it, because I like coloring. I do really enjoy it. But people have gotten me these, like, the adult coloring books. They stress me out. They're way more stressful than a regular coloring book. And then also just the idea of, like, I love doing, like, the fish or something that I can color and make it whatever color I want to, versus doing, like, a Disney one. Because then I know, like, you could color Elsa purple if you really wanted to, but, like, in my mind, I can't do that. So she has to be blue. So this way it's like more open to my interpretation. So the fish can be whatever color I want them to be. Mm-hmm. They don't have to be the color that they're supposed to be. So knowing yourself and being okay with that and embracing that, it helps to kind of narrow in your coping skills as well.
Absolutely.
And that brings me to a good point, is I was telling both Lindsey and Jason Pine, like, Lindsey loves journaling. She talks about it a lot. I also am not a journaler. I do have a journal, but it is only because, I'm sure you guys are shocked, it's Jack. It is not filled out at all. But Lindsey does love it. And for some of those out there who do love journaling, make sure you keep a journal and make sure you have a pen. Because if you have the journal and no pen or pencil to write with, it does you no good. Yeah. So if you're going to add these to your coping box, make sure you add both of them to it.
Well, to be honest, I journal on my phone more than I journal.
Right, yeah. You told us about those apps, which are great. I downloaded and never opened. So, along with the 4 journals I thought I had sitting on a shelf, but are probably still in a box that have never been written in.
Yeah. But again, that took me time to be okay with not doing it in the traditional way. Because a lot of times, again, when I journal, it isn't anything. It could be just a quote for that day. It could be a song lyric that I heard that day. It could be, a topic of conversation that I had with a client, and I never thought of it that way. Yeah. It could be a picture. It could be a video of Milo. He had a major temper tantrum on Tuesday. It was hilarious. Mm-hmm. So it's a video of that, and just journaling about how, this is such a funny thing. I want to remember this. Mm-hmm. So for me, it's not, again, and I tell like my teens all the time because they all hate writing because they just don't really do it that much anymore. So, okay, type it out, do a vlog, write a song, draw a picture. I don't care how you journal, I was working with a client earlier this week, and that was one of the biggest. She's a mom. She doesn't have time. Her hands are always busy. She's always going. And I said, do a voice memo. That's all I need you to do. Like in that moment when you experienced this, what did you do? Just put it in a voice memo. And it doesn't have to make sense. It can literally just be like, I flicked the guy off because he was a jerk. Because we're talking about healthy coping skills versus not healthy coping skills, because that is still a coping skill, just maybe not the healthiest coping skill.
Well, you know what just came to my mind too is I love pictures. I love taking pictures and things. I have 20,000 pictures in my phone, literally.
Yeah.
And I'll just scroll back through, and I just love that. So almost like for me, that maybe is a form of journaling, because I'll take pictures of just random things and screenshot random things, and I can go back to them and remember about, okay, so maybe I am journaling and didn't even know it.
Yeah.
Well, and I don't remember what episode it was, but we did talk about the different ways to journal, where people who don't want to write or type, I have people who paint, and when they paint, the colors they use, the width of the stroke can tell you a lot about what that person's feeling.
Yeah.
So, people who mold with clay, all of that. And I tell them, even if you mold something with Play-Doh or clay and then you smush it, we're still getting, I call it the word vomit, the emotion vomit. We're getting it out. Yeah. So there are different ways to journal by all means, but, find out what your niche is. Because again, this is going to be your coping skill, like your first aid mental health coping skill box. It's not mine. It's not Lindsey's. It's not Jason's. It is yours. So even though I'm giving you these ideas, make it your own, but make sure it's a healthy coping skill. As Lindsey mentioned, we don't want unhealthy. So
helpful versus unhelpful. Yeah.
Yes. Shopping could be good, and you might want to put a gift card in there, but if you're going to do it, limit it.
Yeah.
Let's not go overboard, because then that's not a healthy coping skill. So make sure we're sticking with that.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And another one I have here, again, this is great for adults and kids. And I won't give it away, but we're going to talk about these more in the next one. But these are great because it kind of, I call this little timeout timer. I talked about even as adults, we need timeouts. This is a great little timeout timer. And after it's finished, if you're not calmed down, you flip that puppy over and you start again. So it kind of gives you that distraction to be mesmerized.
Partial matter stuff.
Yeah.
What's that?
It's succulent or cactus soil. So potting, I've been raising baby succulents.
Oh.
Yep.
Random, but.
No, but that's something that works. Like, I was trying to think of some extra things for me. Oh, can y'all hear that?
Yeah.
They should be watching the live, not calling me. So anyway, but yeah, like for me, I was thinking too, we were talking earlier about fidget things. I'm still learning a lot about those. When I drive, since I had my license, I've always had something hanging from my rearview mirror. I've always had a chain with a charm, or like a lei from Polynesian Resort, or always had something. And I always do, and it always annoys people. But me, when I drive, I'm constantly like playing with it. I'm constantly twirling it. I'm like, it's my kind of fidget thing when I'm driving. Yeah. I drive everywhere and travel so much. Like, it's my thing. And I've noticed, like, if I'm in traffic and I'm like stressed, like I'm grabbing that charm. It has a Rose Dynasty logo and stuff on it. And then I have some necklaces that the teens made. I'm always just touching and feeling those and fidgeting with those and it calms me down. And everyone always like, well, you get that off your rearview mirror. I'm like, no, I have a reverse camera and I can see around it. I don't need it. Okay. Like, I need it there for me. It's my driving coping mechanism, really. It is.
And that was part of what I was talking about before, is make sure you have stuff in the car, because oftentimes that does cause a lot of people anxiety. So whether like there's a little finger fidget thing that's like a little marble and mesh.
Yes, I have those at the office.
I always had them in my office. I don't know where they're at right now, but using those. like what Casey had mentioned. I know I have in my car that they're little air fresheners that I can put the oil on, and it blows throughout the whole car. Anything that like worry stones, those flat stones you can get at any kind of craft store, those are great to just kind of rub when you're nervous and getting kind of upset and fidgety. Music, have that. We talked about some of that last week. I had my music list. But I moved some
stuff.
Funny
that you say that because that was what I was going to say. I can't even tell you how many playlists.
Yeah, but those are all great to have. So, and again, music, a lot of us use that on our phone or on our computers or our tablets. Again, that multi-tool that we may already have. Or I'll tell people to go ahead and take a Post-it note and like draw little musical symbols and put it in there. Because again, if you're in that heightened state, you're not even going to think about something.
Right.
So you can have even little written reminders. Yep, like Lindsey did, and put that in your box. Another thing I have is my crochet hook. I like to crochet. It's something very tactile that when I'm antsy, I can just sit and I don't even have to. I've been doing it for years. I don't have to pay attention. I can just sit there watching TV and do, right? But this reminds me, hey, go get your crochet because if I'm in that state, sewing's probably not going to be the best thing. I don't want a needle going through my finger. But this is okay. I can do this. So for me, I have a crochet hook in mind. I've talked about those diamond paintings that I thought were going to drive me nuts, but I ended up liking them. So I have a backup one in here. And I know, again, you guys are going to be shocked. It's a Jack one. And let's see. I know you guys probably have some other ideas, but I'll show you the last one that I have. And I'm going to move my camera slightly. You guys are going to see my coffee. That's okay. I don't know if any of you have ever seen this. It's called a Buddha board.
Yeah.
It's nice because in the bottom tray here is just water. And I can just paint right on here. And after a while, so I can say, list what's making me mad. And in a short amount of time, whatever's making me mad, I could stare at it. I could focus on it. I can name that emotion. I can name where I'm feeling it at. But then as you see, it starts to disappear. And as it disappears, I can focus on it disappearing within myself as well. Yeah, you can see like my eye and my exclamation are gone, and the rest is starting to dissipate. So Buddha boards are really great. And they actually come in small little ones too that you can put in the car, you can put in your purse, you can put in your back pocket, you can put in your bag, you can put in your coping toolbox. You don't have to have a big one like I do, but because I use this for therapy. But they're great to have around. Yep, you can see it's pretty much all the way gone now.
I remember I used to play with those at a store in Springs.
Yeah. That's where I think sometimes
they have them in the Japan
can mess with you, because I actually saw it first at Epcot, and my first response was, that would be great for trauma care.
Yeah.
Right, what's bothering you, we can watch it disappear. And so I went and bought, not from Epcot because they're really expensive. I found them online cheaper. Sorry, Disney. But I went and bought a couple, and I do have a smaller one that's in my car. I have a bigger one. So those, again, things that you may not think are a coping skill can be a great coping skill. If you're an artist and you're out of canvases or you don't have the funds for it, the Buddha board could supplement that in the meantime, because you could paint it, and the more like moist that the paintbrush is, the longer it will stay. So you can take a picture of it to remember your creation. So, there's adaptive tools that we can use with that too.
That's awesome. Jennifer said that you'd have loved her sister's baby shower was Nightmare Before Christmas.
Yes, I would have. You were right, Jennifer.
Yeah. So anybody watching, have you anything else came up to mind that maybe you could add to yours that you didn't realize, like maybe something we said or something someone else said? I know myself, I've definitely learned a little bit just by listening.
You can see how cool the box is.
And it's organized.
And we've talked about it. What works 9 times out of 10 is great, but that one time it doesn't work, that's when stress can hit. So we always want to back up to the backup, to the backup, to the backup.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I love it. Oh, Lindsey, you had some ideas of some lists.
Yes. I'll send it to you so you can post it, but I can show it, because one of the things that I know can be really helpful, again, when you're starting this journey, is the opportunity to have it more concrete, more specific, because that's one of the things that I know a lot of my clients tend to ask, because unfortunately, I think everybody does this, but like when you're in a field or when you're in a profession, you spout all this information out, like Jason, you were telling me about like a hairstyle or a hair technique, and it's like, that language just like fluid. So a lot of times we as therapists sometimes have to remind ourselves that therapy isn't everybody's first language or even their second language. And people like having more, okay, I think of it like like you're building furniture. We've all done it where we've had the IKEA directions where it's just the pictures and you're like, maybe this goes here, maybe that goes there, I'm not sure. And then you've had the other directions where it's, step by step with the tools listed out, the pieces listed out. And it's like, okay, ABC, 1, 2, 3, and it just makes things make more sense and be more fluid and easier. So one of the things that I found is actually, and I'm going to try to show it.
If you want to send it, can you send it to me and I can put it up on the screen?
Yeah, I'll do that right now.
Send me the screenshot of it and I'll put it on the screen. It'll be easier.
It's a self-care daily template. So again, I know more from like a journaling perspective, but at the same time, I think it's just great because again, it gives you that opportunity to have something to build off of. So here, it's from Pinterest, so I'll screenshot it to you. Do you want it in the message that we have?
Yeah, our group message, and then I can upload it here really quick into that way it's on the screen. People can pause it because I don't think I can copy it onto YouTube. So I think this will be a great idea.
Hear all of ours. Do.
I know, right? That's one. Everybody be patient with us on this because,
Well, just as you guys are doing that, I hope that this has given you all some ideas because I know every week
I'm shuffling.
Every week we try to give you something new to try out and see if it is your thing, if you liked it, if you didn't like it, and get you acquainted with different coping skills. But now that we've had these 12 weeks, now we can start putting them in a pile, because I know we even did the scavenger hunt where you had to go grab coping skills. So go back to that video, go do the scavenger hunt, and find out what can I add to my box. So that might be a great way for you guys to do that in order to make this collection of all these 12 weeks of stuff that we've had.
Great idea.
I have tons of those, so I could send you more if you want to like post them anywhere else.
Okay.
Oh,
cool.
And then the other thing that we've talked about so many times, and I remembered today to actually do something and get it, is we keep talking about the emotions wheel.
Oh, please send that.
And it's like we keep talking about it and talking about it and talking about it. And I'm like, Lindsey, you have to do something. Talking is great, but you actually have to do something with it.
So while you're doing that, we'll talk about this
Yes.
one that I just posted here. So weekly self-care tracker, the week of whatever this week is. And then things can you go ahead and go over that? Did you send it, Lindsey?
Yep.
You two go over that while I upload the other one.
Well, while Lindsey's looking at the other one, so you're going to list, how you're kind of feeling physically, emotionally, mentally, spiritually, and socially. Or you could list your goals because, again, remember, this is your journal. Things I'm loving, what good happened that day, that week, brain dump, all of that stuff that you just want, boom, to let it go because it has been stressful, it's been irritating, it's been causing friction, let it just dump there. Goal for the week. We've talked about setting those small goals and the big goals, especially with quarantine happening, just to keep you motivated. This is a great way to kind of keep that reminder. I can't read the last two, Lindsey. I don't have my glasses.
Let me see if I can see it better directly on my phone.
Oh, I'm proud of. And then next week, I had to get closer. So what are you proud of that week? And then, what is going to be your goal or your intentions, or, what do you want to see or feel, for the next week?
And one of the things that I liked most about this specific template was it breaks things down into areas we call, as again, using therapy words, it's the 5-factor wellness plan. So I try to tell clients and educate on this part too. We all always talk about, it's more than just being physically strong, it's mind, body, spirit. Mm-hmm. Well, I love how this one breaks down that it's actually, there's 5 areas of your wellness. And that if you kind of check into these 5 different areas on a regular basis, or, even on a daily basis, making sure, and physical can be something so simple as I made sure to drink water today.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Like I know that sounds really basic, but I can't tell you how many times, especially when I was an intern, I had to literally download an app that would remind me to drink water, because you just, and I'm sure Jason, you have that experience too. You just go, and that doesn't even cross your mind, or, getting a snack, or, getting up and walking around. It doesn't have to be those big things of running a mile, because let's be honest, I'm not doing that. But so that's kind of what I loved about this one, so again, emotional could be, I talked to a friend, I spent time in prayer, I spent time with meditation, I read, a passage or a scripture, or a book, or, something like that really brought me peace. So that emotional self-care. Social, we're in a little bit of a different world right now. Mm-hmm. So it could be, I made sure to schedule a Zoom chat with some friends that I haven't talked to for this whole time. And we're going to do, chips and salsa over Zoom versus going and getting tacos on Taco Tuesday. Mm-hmm. So it's, again, my biggest thing that I always try to really, really, really emphasize is the littlest things make the biggest impact. Yes. Because a lot of times the big things are great and we love those and they're great to look forward to, but something so simple as washing your hair in your favorite shampoo can be just as fulfilling and just as having a full spa day.
Yep.
Right.
Yep.
Very, very good. That's this next page that you gave us.
Yeah. There's more to that one, but I just screenshotted a little bit of it.
So again, just to clarify, this is stuff that you can find on Pinterest.
Oh, yeah.
These are screenshots from Pinterest. We don't own the rights to them. Just want to clarify that.
Yeah, I didn't make these. Trust me, I'd be letting y'all know if I made these.
So yeah, again, journal prompts. What are 10 things you're really good at? 5 physical features you love about yourself. 3 of your strongest qualities, and so on and so on. So these are great, and these are just kind of Kickstarter prompts to ideas of what you should, what you can journal about.
Mm-hmm. And again, through those, you can go as small as you want. You can go as big as you want. You can, again, do it through a collage. You can do it through writing. You can do it through a song. You can do it through a painting. You can do it through a vlog, a video, lip singing with the kids. You could do that. There's so many ways to emphasize and highlight and explore these areas. And it's, again, at the end of the day, it's kind of a basic concept of the more you know yourself, the faster you're going to know what you need.
Exactly.
Which we did, I think it was last week or the week before when we did this, different type of journaling. You can see those prompts are very similar to what we did.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
So again, if you don't want to write and type, we can explore it other ways.
Yeah.
Exactly. And then now we have the
emotion wheel.
Emotion wheel.
So as you guys might remember, we kept talking about the pie slice of anger and the pie slice of happiness. These are the pie slices we were talking about.
And how one triggers another, and that there's different, levels. You can be content, you can be I use happiness or anger really is a good one because people can understand that one. You can be irritated and annoyed and frustrated, and then you can be mad and angry, and then you can be furious, and then you can, like it goes up. Like there's levels to your emotions.
So I'll give you a good idea of some of the other words that you can start to use besides the happy, mad, sad, and explore what those are, what they feel like to you. Ask others how they feel to them. Because again, what one's definition of being irritated is not always the same as somebody else. Even though it might be in the Webster Dictionary, people experience it very differently.
And where you physically feel it. Because a lot of times, again, we talked about, knowing where things are in your body. And I know I kind of nerded out and said, you have neurons in your stomach and neurons in your heart. And, we were talking backstage about having that your gut just says something. And it's like, yeah, your gut literally is telling you things. Like your gut is literally saying things. And so for me, I know personally when I'm anxious, it's all in my stomach.
Yeah.
And so to know where you feel those different emotions from a physical standpoint can also, again, help you to know what you need in order to help cope and manage with those emotions.
Exactly. And I want to leave this up on the screen just so we can kind of get an idea. Y'all could screenshot it or.
Yeah. And that's on Pinterest too. Perfect.
Love it. Great skills, great things to know. Anything else y'all want to add? Because I think we can probably start segueing into the end of the afternoon. I think we've got a lot of information and ideas. And please, anyone, even if you comment later, if you're seeing this that's pre-recorded, we love to. I get all the comments. We go back and read. I think all three of us go back and see what people have to say. So we love to know that. Again, if this has continued to helping you and if you come up with other ideas to go in your box that may help somebody else, it's a great opportunity to share that. I do want to continue to say, please continue to share this, tell your friends about it. If you need help, if you need guidance, contact myself, contact Patti or Lindsey. And, all their contact information, it should be listed on there. If not, I will make sure I get that on there. But you can get a hold of us and you can totally find out that information and find someone. If you're out of the state of Florida, we can definitely find resources in your area also. So I'm just really excited. I do want to kind of point out that next week we are going to be pre-recorded. We still would love for you to comment, chat. We'll still be able to interact with you that way, but that session will be pre-recorded. I will be traveling, and out of safety, I've decided that I will not be Facebook Living while I'm driving. So,
self-care.
Self-care and smart.
Yeah,
self-care, yes.
So we're going to... Right. We want to obey the law. But I will make sure that I'm being attentive when it is on so we can do that. I want to make sure that's good. We are going to be putting together something this week. So we'll be broadcasting. It'll be the same time. It'll be automatic. Just like I did story time this week was pre-recorded. Just still giving that opportunity out there that you can learn. We're going to be teaching you how to make some stuff and do some stuff. And I'm really excited about that. So that'll be fun. So keep an eye on that. And again, subscribe to our Facebook, subscribe to our YouTube, and all that stuff. I do also want to point out really quick too, and I didn't tell you I was going to do this, but I need to because I keep forgetting. This Sunday, all of you know that on Sundays I do drag story time. This Sunday is an extra special Sunday. We're talking about coping skills. We're talking about creativity. We are going to be doing a paint event. So if you did not know, let's see, here we go. We did, Sherilyn Matthews, Miss Rose Dynasty, and myself last month did a paint night. So we've decided to intertwine story time with paint. So
that's awesome.
I will have, and I'll put it up in a second. It'll be on YouTube, 2:00 this Sunday, and Facebook. And here is a list of supplies that you might need, so you can screenshot it. If not, go to our event on Facebook. It has all that there. A lot of the stuff you probably have around your house. If you participate in our paint event before, you should have it. But you do have a couple days to get this. It's going to be Pride themed. I'm not telling you what we're painting, but it will be Pride themed, and I'm really excited. So we're going to be ending our Pride Month every week this month we've been reading about people who have foreran us with Pride and on all that. We've been celebrating Pride all month, and this will be a nice little kickoff or ending to the month with that. So please tune in. It's family friendly. It's for all ages. And if you missed it, it's going to be posted and you can go back and watch it and paint with us. So I learned that I actually can paint. So I'm excited that I will be able to learn something new and paint another new item. So I think it's really exciting. So we'll be doing that Sunday, and I'm excited.
I like the idea.
Yeah.
And Sherilyn's an amazing artist.
That she is. So I'm excited about that. Any closing thoughts from you two?
I just hope that this has been, again, helpful. And now that we've had these 11 prior weeks of stuff, now we can put them all together, plus adding some more stuff to it. As always, thank you for watching. I'm hoping that this is helping everybody out there. And for Rose Dynasty to give us this platform, to be able to share this stuff. Because these are hard times. We've said time and time again, but we don't always know what we're doing either, but we're going to let you know what we do know. So, doing that self-care, drinking the water, getting good sleep, eating at least, a couple meals a day, even when you're on those cruddy days, having those coping skills to reflect on, having that support network to be able to lean on. Those are all important things that even if this wasn't a pandemic time with all the, social unrest stuff going on, these are things that we would tell you to do just because we're human beings.
Yeah.
And we all need a brain break.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And it's awesome that even like right now, we just spent an hour for, and I know for us personally, this is part of my self-care routine now. This is part of it's on my calendar, it's blocked off, and it's a priority, and just to say that you're worth that. You're worth this time to just have, here we are, we're socializing. It's our new socializing, and I'm not always a fan of it, but it's what we got, and we're using it. So, yeah.
Absolutely.
Thanks for having us and coming and playing with us and just hanging out.
We love it. I love seeing everybody participating and getting something out of this. And if you all, and we've said this before, and please, if you have subjects or things that you want to talk about, absolutely send them our way. We'll look into doing that. We appreciate it. Happy birthday on Saturday, Dante.
Yeah.
15. Wow.
Even if it's not a suggestion that you all have, but a question.
Yeah.
We can do a Q&A. Like I know when we first started very early on, I explained like the difference between a counselor, a psychologist, and a psychiatrist, because a lot of people get confused. So submit questions. I mean, I knew you both would be down for a Q&A.
Oh, yeah.
We can do that too. So even if it's not like, I want to see this or I want to see that, but I've been wondering about this, or what does this mean? Or what is that therapy? Because someone says all these letters, ask us questions. We'd be more than happy to do a Q&A with you all.
Or even how we had, crew on, and they gave so many resources.
Yes.
So to say, hey, I would love to get some more resources on this. If we don't know about it, trust us. There's none of us that are going to ever say that we're an expert.
Nope.
Because I'm not. Like, that's never going to be words that come out of my mouth. It's not. And I'm going to defer and refer and find other people who know way more things than I do, because
you can always have a special guest on, if it's something that we're getting enough questions about.
Yeah.
But I'm really good at networking, and I'm really good at research. So if I don't know the answer, I'll help you find somebody.
We'll find it. Exactly.
Ask the questions. Like I said, even if you don't want to submit an idea, or even if you're holding back on submitting an idea because you might think it's stupid,
I know.
Do it.
No, do it.
Do it. There's really nothing stupid.
Yeah.
So give us those ideas. Give us the questions. That's what we're here for.
Absolutely. Yep. And if you can't, you comment here and you don't get a response, which you should, send us a private message. We'll definitely look into that. So as always, thank you all so much. Thank you, you two. Thank you, everyone that tunes in. And, we love to spread our message that everyone is loved, accepted, and wanted. And please don't forget that. Everybody have a great week, and we'll see you next week. Bye.
Bye, everybody.